Welcome back, everyone. We're going to be finishing off the Night of the Living Lead Odyssey. And we're moving on to map 3, Haunted. Is it Haunted? No, this is Crossroads? Railroads. Something like that. Anyway. Luckily enough, we were fortunate to be given a cash boost for this game. So we can start off with Gwendolyn right away. I think I will put Gwen around here. And then my free dart monkey on the other side. And then we'll try and put the ninja alchemist combo that we usually go for right in the middle. So essentially, with Gwen here, she can... I don't know if this version of Gwen is a boy or a girl. I know it changes depending on what skin you have, but I'm pretty sure this is a boy. Anyway, doesn't really matter, I can just call him Gwen. So Gwen can hit both parts of the track here, but it does get a bit iffy because since we're getting leads so early on, yeah, as you can see, Gwen may or may not have a bit of a difficult time when it comes to popping them, because if the leads come along this track, it means that these two are utterly useless and Gwen has to do cleanup, which means she'll pop the lead, but it'll turn into black balloons and they'll just run straight through. So we need to set up a decent defense alongside Gwen to actually manage this a bit better. So once we get our sharp shurikens, I'm going to aim straight for an alchemist, and then hopefully wave 10 will be the last wave that we have a poor defense against leads. Okay, so we didn't need to use that, but there we go. We're starting to hold off a little bit better now, which is what we're looking for. So, gonna place an alchemist probably around here, just so it only buffs the ninja for now. And if you didn't know, alchemist can pop leads straight off the start. So if you're wondering how to pop the first couple of leads, like wave 5 and wave 10, just place your alchemist, set him onto strong, and since leads are coming out so early, they will most certainly be the strongest balloons there, so your alchemist will 100% aim for them. You just have to make sure you've got decent towers to clean up the rest of the balloons. Okay, but so far so good. I think we'll aim for double shot now, just because it's cheaper. And then Berserker Brew. Okay. Alright, we're not doing too badly here. Maybe a few lives getting a bit leaked there. Our hot spikes at the end of the track are helping us out quite a bit, thanks to our monkey knowledge. But wouldn't have been too many lives lost either way. So, got some news, and to the person who requested that I play League of Legends on my Google forums, I have just finished downloading it this morning, and I will be attempting to give it a shot either tomorrow or sometime on the weekend, essentially. I will be giving League of Legends a shot. I've never played it before, so it's going to be a first time playing League of Legends video, which means it's not going to be great. It's not going to be like this where I'm just absolutely perfect at the game. Well, I say I'm perfect at this game. I'm not. But it's not going to be like this where I know enough about the game to get through it smoothly. I have literally never played League of Legends in my life. So it's going to be a brand new experience for me, which will be quite fun. But just remember, if you guys do end up watching that video, just remember that I'm a noob when it comes to League of Legends. I know nothing about it. I've never played it. And the closest thing, at least to my knowledge, that I've played is Heroes of the Storm. Just because it was just a lot easier to play because it was under the Blizzard account thing. And I already play Hearthstone. And what else did I play on the Blizzard account? I think it was just I think it was just Hearthstone, yeah. Okay. But yeah, since I played Hearthstone, it was just so easy to be like, oh, Hero of the Storm. Sounds great. Oh, and I get some extra bonus stuff for my Overwatch game if I play this. Yeah, even more of an incentive. So I kind of played that for a bit, but I think they're similar in terms of like the type of game, but when it comes to actual gameplay itself, they are not all that similar. Okay, so I'm gonna place a second Ninja Alchemist combo, just because the first one's great, not gonna deny that, but I do feel as though this top part of the map is missing out a little. So we're gonna place a second one, in hopes to bolster our defense a lot more, and it seems to be working. Well, he hasn't gotten any pops yet, but I feel like he's strong. Okay, and we're managing to hold back the ceramics. The leads have never really been a problem for us, simply because we could start off with Gwendolyn. The first two maps we managed to place our free dart monkey and then Gwendolyn around later. But then for this map we started off with a little bit of extra money, because the game just gave it to us, so that's handy. We'll take it. I'm sorry if you ever hear coughing in the background. I try and turn away from my mic and cover my mouth to do it, but yes, I am still slightly sick. I've just got the flu. It's nothing too much to worry about, and I am getting over it, because I was a hell of a lot worse a couple days ago. But yeah, just keep that in mind. I'm gonna try my best to turn away from my mic and cough into my hand, but yeah, I'm not dying, and I'm not trying to hide anything here. I'm perfectly fine. It's just the flu, and I'll be over it very soon. Okay, so now I think we're going to try and aim for the Crossbow Master, because if you can get a Crossbow Master in before round 63, then round 63 isn't a problem. Okay, we just unlocked Gwen's second ability. Now, I didn't actually talk about this in the previous Odyssey maps. So I talked about this one, where you just kind of throw a wall of fire on the ground. But this ability, essentially, it sets the whole screen alight, burning all bloons and granting the heated up buff to all monkeys. So you may not really understand, it's like what's the heated up buff? I don't get it. So I think the heated up buff. Every few seconds creates a powerful blast wave of fire that pops balloons and add fire to nearby monkeys' attacks. So essentially, when it's saying it adds heated up buff to all monkeys, it gives extra fire damage to all the monkeys on screen. So essentially, you want to use this when there's a bunch of balloons on the screen and you think it might be a little too much for you to handle. So you use the firestorm, burns everything on the screen, and then gives all your monkeys burning attacks. But you can't use it as a last resort like a ground zero or a SAR bomber, where you can just drop it and then everything gets killed instantly. No, this one is a slow burn. Please ignore the pun, but you get what I mean. So you have to do it before you're like in trouble. You have to see that you might not be able to handle it, and then use it. Or if you don't want to waste it, let the round play out, and then if the balloons get really close to the end, pause the game, go home, go back into it, and then you know that the round is going to be a pain to get through without using the ability. So then you use it, and you'll be perfectly fine. Alright, so here is our Crossbow Master, who will be our guide to slaughtering everything in our way. Now, here's the best part. We're going to put a village right smack dab in the middle. So, this means that any regrow balloons that enter this section in between here will not be able to regrow because we've got grow blocker. And once we get this, everybody here can see camos. Admittedly, they could in the first place already, so it didn't really matter, but you know, Gwendolyn likes to see camos. You know, you gotta think about Gwendolyn sometimes. Do we get primary training? We do have some good primary monkeys here, but overall I think this group specifically... Oh, we didn't actually get this guy included, that's a shame. He looks included, but I guess his toesies are a little bit poking out. But yeah, for this group in particular, they will not all benefit from primary training. In fact, only our Crossbow Master will. And that's not a bad idea considering he's the only 5th tier, but overall, I think we should be trying to buff everyone rather than just one. We could throw in a few more primary monkeys, but it's not necessary. So here's what the Crossbow Master does to wave 63. Just destroys it completely and utterly. So there is our MIB. Oh, even that's getting buffed by the heated up effect. Interesting. Okay, so another type of monkey that's amazing for this map is the Boomerang, believe it or not. So we're going to try and make sure he doesn't get in the way of the alch buff, just because we don't really want him to. We're going to go red hot rangs and more glaives, just because on this map, if there is ever an overwhelming amount of bloons, and by overwhelming I mean like wave 63, wave 78, other than that, I can't really think of any others that are in between here and 80, but yeah, so wave 63 and 78, lots of ceramics, grouped up together, your boy Glaive Ricochet, and more glaives is going to be here to help you. Okay, admittedly we can't sneak this guy in without him getting the alch buff, but... Ooh, or do we? I think we get a tack shooter instead, actually, because tack shooters are also very good here. So, we're going to try... I think we'll just go bottom path and middle path, just because I don't think we're going to make it to tack zone in time. Oh, we actually could. We could very easily make it to the tack zone, but I don't know why I thought we couldn't. Actually, never mind, we probably can't. I don't know what I'm talking about today. Yeah, I did roughly kinda just wake up, and then funny thing is, like, usually I do the Odysseys in 2 parts, right? I used to do them all in one go, but that was just terrible for me, because if it was a difficult Odyssey, I'd always get stuck on like one of the last 2 levels, and then it would just drag on for being like a 1 to 2 hour video to being like a 3 to 4 hour video. And so I said to myself, this would be a lot easier if I could just break it up into 2 segments. And so I have I've done so ever since, just because let's face it, some of you guys just show up here to see what towers I pick, and then see that it's successful for me, and that's perfectly fine. If you guys just want to see what towers I pick and how well it worked for me, I completely understand that. Some of you don't want a full-on guide, you just want a little bit of guidance. It's like, you want to see what I used, but you don't want to see how I did it, which is fair enough. I can appreciate that. I'm one of those people myself. I like to try and do things my own way, and then if that doesn't work out, I'll see maybe how other people have done it. And yeah, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, so the reason me splitting it up into part 1 and part 2 works so well is that it doesn't give you everything all in one go, right? It gives you the first 2 maps, which kind of gives you an idea of what the next few maps are going to be like, depending on if there's anything secretly not added into the rules list. But overall, it doesn't give you too much to be able to beat the entire Odyssey, but it does give you a good foothold into the strategy that I use and the potential technique to beat the last 3 maps of the Odyssey. Okay, so we could potentially avoid the attack zone here, although I'm not too crazy about... Oh, yeah, we will be able to, because there's one more fortified BFB. Yeah. Ooh, never mind. I was wrong. But, if we get rid of this alchemist, attack zone, just to be sure. There it is. Look at that range on that guy. Okay. Oh, we actually got a decent chunk of money. That means I've never done that track on that difficulty before. Alright. Let's keep it going. On to Haunted. Is this the one that's called Haunted? I think it is. Okay, so once again, we start off with Gwendolyn. It would have been nice to have boats and submarines here, because this space in between is pretty much wasted now. Could place Gwen there, but that's a bit of a waste as well. Interesting, so they're forcing us to put Gwen in a not so great spot, sadly, because these are taken up by the trees, which we have to pay to remove. Okay, so at this point in time, I think I want Gwen here. So, since the start and the end of the track is kind of the same, because balloons come from here, go up, and then down, and then over here, but balloons also come from this side and do the exact other way, there is spikes at the end, in quotations, of both tracks, which means that they're also at the start of both tracks, so we won't have to deal with round 1 very much. Or at least round 3, because most of it will be taken out just by these guys. We have to pop like a few things here and there, but that's fine. So, here's the thing though. That lead is going to leak a few lives, which we know. We expected it, but where do we want to put our ninja? See, the thing is, I want to put him like here. So I'm going to have to spend a little bit of money and perhaps lose a few more lives to be able to keep that going. Because, to be honest, I really should have just not put my Dart Monkey right there, but since he's going to become a Crossbow Master, I kind of forgive him for taking up the good space. So we'll put our ninja here. Now, he'll be handy, but he won't be able to pop leads for quite some time, because we want to get some of the good upgrades for him, like the Ninja Discipline and up to at least the 5 Ninja Star Flingin' Monstrosity. So if we put down a wall of fire, or a heated up cocktail thing, we can destroy that lead all in one go, but this lead maybe not so much. So we do lose a few more lives there, but thanks to our mana shield, we managed to keep most of them in check. Now we seem to be doing relatively well. I think we can start getting the alchemist in and buffing our ninja here. But yeah, if you don't have things like the mana shield to save your lives and you keep losing like a few lives every single match, you can start off by placing an alchemist, because the alchemist can pop leads immediately. He isn't the greatest tower when he's by himself, but just surviving with him for a few rounds will allow you to get like larger potions, acidic mixture dip, and then once you get acidic mixture dip, jeez, that's like a tongue twister. Pretty much any one of your balloons can pop leads. Which is why I love him so much. Gives my favourite tower in the game the ability to pop leads. I honestly don't know why I started like getting really attached to the ninja. I guess I really liked the idea of him in BTD5, but in all honesty, in BTD5 he wasn't that great, the ninja. The ninja was like pretty mediocre in BTD5, I'm not gonna lie. He definitely couldn't pop a Moab by himself alongside his friend the ninja. He definitely was not that strong, but Thanks to 5th tiers and the support tower, the alchemist, the ninja has become one of my favourites. Okay, so we'll get Berserker Brew as well, just to make him attack a little faster, throw a little... Actually, I don't know what it does. What does Berserker Brew do? That's stronger stimulant. Oh well. I think it just increases his range. Yeah, it increases his range and maybe his popping potential. Okay, so this wave is very important. Once you see a bunch of reds, then a bunch of blues, and then a bunch of greens, and then a bunch of yellows all show up, that's like the warning sign for normally the next wave is leads. But due to this Odyssey, they start to sneak in leads a little bit earlier. Don't worry, this isn't like a permanent thing. Leads aren't gonna always start coming out round 5 now that this Odyssey's released. It's just for this Odyssey. But yes, we do need to be worried about leads, hence why we place Gwendolyn so early, and why you need to place the alchemist if you're feeling a bit unsure about your lead popping power. You can also place a Boomerang Monkey. Boomerang Monkey is really cheap, 275, and the upgrades to get lead popping power, 100, 300. So it's very cheap. So 100 plus 300, 400, so 675, cheaper than Gwen, and you can have lead popping power. And it's not terrible lead popping power, it's pretty decent. You just set him onto strong so that he doesn't miss, and you'll be good to go. Okay, so there's our 4th tier for both of them. We'll get faster throwing just so that Ninja never misses out, and then we'll remove this other tree. Okay, so we're doing pretty well so far. I think we might need to use a plane on this map. So we'll get... Do we want a second ninja? I feel like a second ninja would be pretty good here. Nah, since the track isn't exactly split, since it's all kind of a part of one, we'll just go straight for our Crossbow Master. Okay, so you guys know how this song and dance goes now. We're just going to be saving up for our Crossbow Master, and we won't really be doing all that much else. So we'll watch wave 40 just to make sure that we can get through it nice and easily. If we need to, we'll throw down the cocktail of flames. Throw it to... Oh, I thought he was going to spawn in on this side. Never mind though, because the ninja's got it. Okay, so Ninja can clearly handle himself. And we're just going to be saving it for the Crossbow Master. I'm literally not going to be hitting any other buttons or buying anything or like trying to cheat you guys out of my own secret strategy or whatever. I'm literally just going to be saving up for this guy, and so I'll see you when I've done so. Alright, and I'm back. We've almost just saved up enough, bought nothing else, and there's the Crossbow Master. Now this is a pretty good position for the Crossbow Master because he's got a really large range, which means if we set him on like, not strong, but last, he should mostly aim for like down a straight line, but to be honest it's not really that necessary, so we'll just leave him on first. It's easily done with him just sat on first. Alright, so admittedly there are a few monkeys that I've been neglecting in this run, and I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little bit bad. So I'm gonna place a village right here. Regrow block, jungle drums, primary scanner. You know the drill. Monkey Intelligence Bureau. Absolutely love it. It's a beautiful upgrade. Although our Crossbow Master can pop literally every type of balloon, because if you did not know, once you get the Crossbow Dart Monkey to 5th tier, it allows him to pop leads, which is crazy because it doesn't say that he can pop leads, but still, he can pop leads. 100% fact. I know this for sure. But yeah, we have been neglecting a few of our monkeys here. We have not been playing our Super Monkey, and we've also not been playing our plane very much. So we'll play the Super Monkey, just because Super Monkey deserves some love, and we have yet to play him throughout this entire Odyssey. And he's not bad, he's just really expensive. And so, with the MIB up, it means that I can aim for a really good Super Monkey that doesn't need to go through the bottom path. Or, actually yeah, let's be honest, if you don't get the top path, you're missing out on so much damage with the Super Monkey. But yeah, so thanks to the MIB, Super Monkey can pop leads, camos, purples, whatever it wants really. So we don't need to worry about the bottom path, which gives it camo detection. We're just going to be worried about going for the top path with the Plasma Blasts and the Sun Avatar. So there's the Plasma Blasts. I don't know how well a Sun God... I don't know. I know exactly how well a Sun Avatar can do. But I don't know how well a Plasma Blast Super Monkey can deal with round 63. So I've always relied on my Crossbow Master to help me out there. However, I do know that a Sun Avatar can absolutely dismantle round 63 if you can get it. Sun Avatar, by far one of the best types of Super Monkey, because anything beyond Sun Avatar is a little bit expensive, and if you don't have banana farms like we didn't have for this Odyssey, it's a little bit out of reach, to say the least. Okay, so once again, we're just going to be saving it for Sun Avatar. I'm not going to be buying anything or using any abilities, because I think we can handle ourselves until then. So I'll see you guys when that happens. Okay, and here's our Sun Avatar. Beautiful. So, Sun Avatar is quite insanely strong. If you're looking for a way to delete large chunks of ceramic balloons, Sun Avatar and Crossbow Master are perfect for you. Alright, but now we've got round 77 to round 80, and we haven't appreciated our beautiful plane in quite some time. So we'll try go bottom path. We won't be getting far, but look at that. Isn't it just nice? Because this is the only tower now that is actually giving Gwendolyn backup. Because Gwendolyn's just been all on his own, or all on her own, over here. Not doing a bunch of much at all. Not getting any backup. Just having to suffer through the pain of not being able to detect camos. And just trying the best to hold this side off. But inevitably, Gwendolyn can't do it. Just can't do it. But you know, once the balloons from over here get to this side, then they get absolutely destroyed. But oh, I suppose Crossbow Master's been helping out a little bit with this extra range. But overall, it's just been Gwendolyn. Oh, and you also help out. You know what? Never mind. Gwendolyn gets enough help. Screw Gwendolyn. Thought I'd offer a bit more help with the plane, but don't need it. Alright, and now we're moving on to the final map. What is it? I know it's the new one. I think it's called Encrypted. So we will see how that works. It's got quite a unique game mechanic to it, in that we won't be able to use this whatsoever. Oh, we will. Oh, no, we won't. The village is too big. So essentially, with this map, you can place your hero here, which is usually what I do. It's usually what I prefer to do. And then you've got these little platforms out here, which seem a little strange, but we'll see what happens. So essentially, these little platforms can be removed for 250. Which is not a terrible amount of gold, not too much. But we will be removing this one first, because you will note that we can place a lovely little dart monkey here, which is just a good amount of extra defense. And then we've got our first leads, as to be expected. Not too much loss of lives there, none at all actually. And so we'll also get rid of this one. Now, here's the trick about this map. We all thought it was we all thought it was to do with the secret achievement or something, but it was not. But have a look. Dart Monkey can happily fit on here, but when you try and put him on here, it doesn't fit at all. Now, the reason for this is these little segments here have been split up into different types of monkeys. So, blue one here at the bottom can fit primary monkeys, hence the blue background. Green one here can fit military monkeys, but the plane might be a little bit big for that. And so this purple one can fit magic monkeys very nicely. Now, my only concern here is that maybe the alchemist can't fit, because the alchemist is a little bit fatter than the ninja, and some of these guys just can't fit on these little areas, so you just kind of have to deal with that as that happens. But we will see first, just to make sure. Okay, so an alchemist can fit, so we're fine to be upgrading this guy. It's not going to be too much of a hassle, because the alchemist can in fact fit on it. I know for a fact the plane can't fit on this one, just because of how wide he is. And that's not me insulting the plane, I love the plane, but he a chunky boy, so fitting him on that little diagonal piece while he's just a really long straight by, not going to happen. But I do think the plane will be absolutely necessary for this map. It's going to be so much of a big help, you won't even believe it. So essentially, the reason I think the plane's going to be a big help for this map is because there's not a lot of room to fit all of your towers, or at least all the ones that you might want to. For example, like if you want to place the super monkey, or if you want to place a dart monkey and a boomerang, or something like that. There's really not a lot of room in like the main central area. And that's where you want to place most of your towers, right? You want to place them in the central area, so that all of them will get every single side of the balloons and actually help out. You don't want it so that you've only got your dart monkey out here, and you can only help outside of this little building, because the building does in fact restrict where the where your monkeys can aim. So you can see that there's like this little red outline around the left side of his circle that kind of follows the building along. So he gets blocked off. He can't aim inside of the building, which is a very big shame, because that would make the outside of this building so much more helpful. But I guess that's why Ninja Kiwi did it. They didn't want it to be too easy of a map. So that's fair enough, in my opinion. Like, a lot of maps have their scenic views that block the pathway that you want to take the most. And that's fair enough, but it just means that it's a struggle to try and fit all of your favorites right in here. Now, anything can be placed on this middle area. That's not a problem. It never has been a problem, but okay, we're losing a couple lives there. That's a bit scary. But overall, I think we'll be fine. We just need to get Bloon Jitsu up, and we'll be rolling in the dough. Also, if you ever feel scared of a wave and you're copying my build, hero and all, just throw down your cocktail. If you ever feel like you might not beat it, just throw it down. It'll absolutely destroy any balloons. Oh! And as you can see, the alchemist clearly does not care about boundary restrictions, and will just yeet potions over the wall and just hope and pray that it hits a balloon, and not like splash another monkey in the face with pure acid. He just guesses and just lobs them over a lot of the time, but he's got a pretty good win rate, not gonna lie. So I guess he's earned that right. Okay, so now we can get our Bloon Jitsu very soon. I'm talking now. So there's our Bloon Jitsu, and then we'll get Stronger Stimulant, get our Crossbow Master, and then we'll aim for maybe even a Sky Shredder. Because on this map, like I was saying earlier, there's not a lot of room in here, especially not for a big boy plane. Although Sky Shredder is quite expensive, maybe we'll go for a oh, what's it called? What's the one that shoots bombs in like a straight line? The Spectre. That's it. We'll go for a Spectre. So once again, if you're ever in doubt, throw down that cocktail. I don't think it was that necessary there, but it's just making sure you guys 100% comfortable with it, because if you're not comfortable with using your abilities early on, then you need to get comfortable with it, because there are going to be rounds later on that you definitely need your abilities for, and you need to know when to use them properly. So early on like this, I'm thinking like before round 40, maybe even including round 40, just spam it as much as you want. It's only going to help you out in terms of DPS, and it might just finish some rounds quicker. But later on, you may need to save it up a bit. And by save it up a bit, I mean like you need to pick out which rounds are going to be a pain for you. So, not including this Odyssey, because obviously the rounds are different from what they normally are, but the normal rounds are like round 63, difficult round. Round 60, you need to have enough damage for a BFB. Round 59, you need to be able to pop camo leads. Right? Obviously this Odyssey turns that on its head, but if you're used to the rounds and what comes out on them, then you should know when to use your ability, because some rounds are definitely a lot harder than others. 63, 78, 60, 55 even, if you're not prepared for bursts of ceramics. All these rounds can be quite difficult if you're not prepared for them, but if you know which rounds you struggle with, then all of a sudden it becomes a lot easier to over-prepare for them, and perhaps set aside a few abilities just in case. Just in case you're feeling like you might not get through them as easily as you would normally. Alright, so I guess that's all the advice I have for now. I will see you guys when we get to Crossbow Master level, shall we? Alright. Alright, that should be enough for our Crossbow Master. And as you guys know, once we get the Crossbow Master, it's really game over for the bloons. Honestly, I don't think I need to place much more after the Crossbow Master, but just in case, it's always good to be safe rather than sorry. So, we're gonna get... Ooh. What are we gonna get? Do we want Moab popping power? Or do we want overall popping power? I think we want overall popping power, so we'll go for a little bit more of an expensive one, but in the long run it'll be cheaper. Alright, so now we're saving up for a Spectre, but so sorry about that. But yeah, we're saving up for a Spectre now, but just before we do that, we're gonna give our lovely plane here some radar scanning and some jungle drums, so that it attacks a little bit faster, does a little bit more damage, and can pop camo balloons. That is the main part of getting the village right there. But just look at this guy. Since most of these towers inside here can't pop anything outside of this room, our lovely plane here can absolutely destroy balloons up until then. If you don't know, there's a trophy store item you can buy, a limited time for the Halloween event, that turns your plane's darts into bone spikes. If you're interested, I just bought it because it was a limited time thing and you can only get it during the Halloween event. So use your trophies you get from this Odyssey and the races or whatever else you play. I don't particularly play the races all that much because I'm not too much of a fan of them, but yeah. well, I say I'm not too much of a fan of them. I do enjoy them, I'm just not good at them. And so I don't feel like I could give you guys like any tips or tricks or really much advice at all on how to play them. I'm just not the greatest when it comes to races. I'm sure there are others out there that can help you out with that. But yeah, we're going to be saving up for a Spectre here. We know our Crossbow Master can destroy around 63, so we're not too worried about that. And even if we were a little bit worried about that, we have two abilities which can actually deal out a lot of damage. So for example, the ceramics got to around here, so if we just throw down the cocktail, ceramics over on this side get killed quickly, and if these guys had actually made it all the way through, they would have also been killed quite quickly. Alright, so now we're going to be saving up for the Spectre, but other than that, we're doing pretty well. We haven't needed much in terms of damage, so I'll see you guys when we can afford the Spectre. Alright, we've just about afforded the Spectre upgrade. Awfully close now. And here it comes. Wait for it. And boom, there you go. So if you don't know, the Spectre upgrade just starts launching nukes at pretty much whatever the first balloon on the screen is. And it's going to deal some massive chunky damage. So I definitely recommend getting a Spectre over something like the Sky Shredder. Sky Shredder is a 5th tier top path, and it's a lot more expensive than going straight for the Spectre. Flying Fortress is impossible to get on a map like this with 80 rounds only, especially without banana farms. But yes, I would definitely choose a Spectre over the 5th tier top path, because the 5th tier top path, you might get it. Like, it's pretty expensive, but you might be able to afford it. But to be honest, you're going to be able to afford it on like round 78, 79. So it's really not going to play much of a role in terms of actually damaging the balloons, whereas the Spectre itself can handle the last few waves practically solo. Like, look at how much damage he deals just to these guys alone. He pops them down into regular balloons by himself. Now, don't get me wrong, he takes his time, but the Crossbow Master doesn't even have to intervene until, like, they're practically ceramics. Also, I didn't bring this up earlier, but anything can go on this middle section here. So, like, you can fit Dart Monkey, Boomerang, and Ninja, whatever you want, in this middle section. I just prefer to use it for my hero, just so that, like, if it's a hero like Oben, then they can buff the towers around them, like on the magic tile. If it's just like Pat Fusty, it's a pretty good spot for him to sit right in the middle, so he can slap here, there, up here, and down here. Well, actually, I don't know if the balloons actually go through here. We haven't really seen the full track that they take, but yeah. So I prefer to put my hero here. Even Captain Churchill, I think, could fit in this. He's a pretty chunky boy, but that's a pretty big spot. So I'd definitely recommend putting your hero right in the middle. Other than that, though, we've pretty much destroyed this round. 100%. So see, you do have like 18,000 plus at the end, and then add that on to the 24,000 that it costs for the Spectre, and you can afford the Sky Shredder if you really want to after buying all of these. But realistically, if you don't buy all of these guys, you're going to struggle to get the Sky Shredder. And if you do buy all of these guys, the Sky Shredder is only going to be available to you on like around 78 or 79, which is a little bit useless considering you could just wait 2 more rounds and win, essentially. Alright, so this is round 80, and this will be our Odyssey complete. So 24,000, you pretty much could get another Spectre. You could practically get 2 Spectres instead of just 1 Sky Shredder, but there you go. This is the Night of the Living Lead Odyssey complete. Pretty different from the usual Odysseys we deal with. Usually all the rules and restrictions are in place before the game actually starts, but this one kind of snuck them in at the very end, being like, ooh, we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but we found out when we started out the Odyssey. So there's all the towers I used. These are all the tower types I had. I had the Super Monkey, the Boomerang, the Village, Alchemist, Ninja, Monkey Pilot, Tack Shooter, Dart Monkey, and of course Gwendolyn. I don't bother using powers, that's just not how I roll. We get 200 monkey money, 100 tokens for the event, and 50 trophies. No Insta Monkey because that's what the tokens have replaced. Okay, so still 4 days left. It has been less than 24 hours since the Odyssey has come out, and I have officially completed it, and hopefully this will be up in time before 3 days is left. So we will get, let's get a couple subs. I like the idea of some subs. Very nice. Then we'll just go for a random one. Dart Monkey and oh, very similar, and yet big difference between them. Okay, so what's in the shop? What's in the trophy shop? So if you go to the featured page, you see all of these ones at the bottom here, and this one. Oh, and this one. All of these were limited time, event only purchases. So long as the pumpkin event is going on, the event ends in 4 days, by the way. You will only be able to buy these guys during this event. So you need to purchase them quickly with the trophies that you get from this Odyssey or previous Odysseys, or if you've been saving up, or if you haven't. You need to get these guys, otherwise you'll be waiting until next year, I presume, to be able to buy them again. So I've already bought them all, because I found out a week in advance that Ninja Kiwi said that they would be releasing limited time trophy store items. So I was prepared. If you're not prepared now, you can win the Odyssey, get yourself some trophies, and buy some of the ones that you like. I personally, if I couldn't afford them all, I don't really care about the avatars, or even the sound effects, or the coffin drop, just because a lot of these take the place of powers, and I don't really bother with powers, except for the Grim Farmer. Must admit, love that guy. Love the Banana Farm Collector, because I absolutely adore banana farming. Alright, so sadly we're a couple trophies off of getting the fun new pets, but either way, that has been the Night of the Living Lead Odyssey. Sorry for dragging on the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, guys.